Well, okay, Minnesotans, finally bringing the drama at the reunion episode. It's like they got a note or something from us. The Love is Blind reunion just premiered on Netflix. As always, I have to watch the show with my golden goblet. Let me tell you guys, I stayed up just for you so I could give you this recap so you can decide whether these Minnesotans really brought the action or not. Be warned, my notes are so intense. I'm like a court reporter. Here are your cliff notes, and then we're gonna dive right in. The women came ready, the men got dragged. Joey and Ben are absolute trash, and guess what? Dave's family still does not give up. Also, Meg slayed his little Cameron Diaz, but let's be clear, she is not a girl's girl. And Madison, girl, you get Woman of the Year with those speeches. Gaslighting faster than I could even light my own candle, and a surprise engagement at the end that actually gave us something to root for. Shall we get into it? Let's go in chronological order, shall we? All right, we start off learning that Daniel got a tattoo of Taylor's eyes on his chest. And was I the only one that was like, what in the actual is going on? I mean, cute, but let's just say if my husband got my eyes tattooed on my chest, I'd be like, do we need to see a therapist? Like that was just very odd, very odd. But I guess we're rooting for them because they're the only ones that got married. So, woo, let's go. All right. Virginia looked like a freaking Halle Berry stepping onto that red carpet. I hope she's a good actress because she could be in films with that look. She was absolutely stunning. But oh my goodness, the tea that we were watching play back and forth. It was like a ping pong table between her and Devon. She was like, I will not talk to you about Devon's views because I don't feel comfortable. And I understand she was saying this whole season, or at least that last wedding episode, that she never wanted to put Devon down in a negative light. She said it was a cultural thing. And I understand where she's coming from. And we can obviously assume that his views are very conservative because she said, I'm not going to speak on his views, but my views, she said it in a way that's like, well, this is not his view, but this is my view, is that I support LGBTQ, I support women getting abortions, and I have lots of diverse people around me, like my Muslim family members, which also implied, like, does he not surround himself with people of different faiths? You could tell everything this man did. You're like, did all these people hire PR professionals? Because everything sounded so scripted. All of the men kept trying to save themselves and be like, I just want you to know I still really love and respect you. And I think they all thought the women were going to come back and say, yeah, I love and respect you too, best wishes. And the women were like, absolutely not, you piece of trash. So Virginia said she found a note from Devon's ex-girlfriend on his nightstand, but then he denied it. And he said it's one of his best friend's girls that was in his wedding party. That whole thing was a little weird. It's like, we need more context. That whole situation is going to become a he said, she said, she said. It's going to become a she said because there's really no way for us to ever know. And I could see that playing out online like it did with Ashley and Tyler from the last season. And I'm sorry, I'm not here for that. She said Devon's mom gave him a $1,000 check for the wedding from their boss. And she's like, was he ever going to tell me about that? He claims I was going to tell you about that when we actually got married, which implies to me that he didn't trust that they were actually going to get married. And also it seemed like the entire time that she was more financially well off than he was. So I don't know why he wouldn't tell her about a $1,000 check. So that was very odd. He kept saying, she said, I haven't felt love or respect from him in the last year. Kept calling him out over and over again, saying he stopped talking to me completely after the wedding. He continues to tell everyone I ghosted him. Like, the women were coming in so strong that how could you not believe these women and their stories? It's like they knew the facts coming into this reunion, and the men were like, Psh, can we get on the same page here so we can all just be cool, spread peace and love, gain those Insta followers and those brand deals. And the women were not having it, folks. Devon is tensing up so much. You could just tell, like, when those lights are on you on those sound stages, you're getting really hot. You feel like everyone's against you. Do you like how I'm acting like I've been on Love is Blind? But I've obviously been on a lot of sound stages, having worked in Hollywood for over a decade. But you can tell he's getting really defensive. He feels very ganged up on. He's just like, please, let's move on. I speak really highly of you. And she is not here for it. She sat like this, like the whole show. And you could just tell. She's like, I'm hot. You suck. and stop acting like we're on the same page, because we're not. The Love is Blind included the top 5 memorable moments, and we're coming in so hot and so hilarious with Chelsea and Jimmy from like season 6 when she tells him she looks like Megan Fox, and he's like, that's the most exciting thing in the world. All right, let's move on to Sarah and Ben. Also, another woman who came in strong, knowing the truth, and another man who's trying to play it all up like this is all dandy. It really felt like this season the men were not there for it. Like, they were not ready to get married. That was just so wild. Like, if you really go down each of the men, none of them were ready to get married. Sarah came in strong. She came in fierce. She knew exactly what she was going to say to Ben, called him out. She looks so emotional. She looks like she was really invested in this relationship and wanted to see it through. She also looks like she's embarrassed. She feels very fooled by him. Ben is just like smiling with this like grin, and he's just like, hey guys, yeah. Like, his teeth are overwhelmingly, and I wouldn't say that if he wasn't a jerk, but he's a jerk, so, you know. He definitely looks like he just wants to be famous. They talk about his church's beliefs on whether they support gay marriage or not, and Ben says that he never needed to know that because he has never had a situation like that in his life. Like, he never had gay family members. It just kind of shows you how, like, middle America he is, and obviously shows his privilege. And also, it's just something that you should think about, but it's also probably, he obviously probably knew his church was like that, and he was trying to play it off like he wasn't. And then they bring up the girl he dated on TikTok because I guess there were thousands of comments. Like, this was getting way more engagement than we thought. And she said, it makes a lot of sense that you just randomly ghosted someone. It makes a lot of sense because Sarah drops a bomb on us. And it was a very confusing bomb because they were both telling completely different stories. And I guess if you're on a soundstage and you have no materials to back you up, I guess you do just start lying. Like, I wouldn't do that because I wouldn't do anything that crazy, but Sarah's telling the truth. It seems like Ben is completely lying, and she says, we made plans for you to come live with me in Tennessee. I left your house thinking you're gonna come move to Tennessee with me because I'm a travel nurse. We'll live there for a few months, and then we'll come back to Minnesota. And somehow he says, no, that was never the plan. No, absolutely not. Nope, that's your truth. That's your truth. That's not my truth. What? What, sir? What? She said he texted her 3 very scripted apologies. And when everyone is saying scripted these days, everyone is using ChatGPT to write their scripts. Like, I watched a YouTube video and I was like, that guy used ChatGPT. Like, he is straight up just reading off ChatGPT, and it's getting harder and harder to interpret. But when someone's sending you text, I called out a friend today. I go, was that ChatGPT? It's getting so annoying, but it's also so obvious. It's like, if you don't actually talk like that in real life, we know you're using a robot, sir. Gosh darn it. Ben is smiling like a little, I feel like I'm getting mad for Sarah. Ben looks like he had never had any intention of being with her, which is crazy because he's the one that's like, I thank you for breaking up with me at the altar. I would still like really love to be with you. That was so weird. It was honestly so sad, because we also found out that Ben reached out to Jimmy, or he reached out to him from like season 6. And Jimmy was saying, you should really get on the same page as your partner who was on Love is Blind like a month out and start rehearsing. So he reached out to Sarah and said, hey, I feel like we need to start rehearsing because we're about to go on the reunion. She's like, absolutely not. I'm calling you out. Thank you very much for that information. And she said she felt like she was completely love bombed and she fell for it. And like I said, I think she was just so embarrassed. I'm sorry, guys, I keep playing with my hair, but I'm literally just running straight from watching the show. And I feel really bad for that situation. Another situation, again, girl power, because all these girls, by the way, are backing each other up, being like, yeah, no, that happened. Yeah, she texted me and told me all about, she was on the phone with me while she was driving to Tennessee. Like, all the girls had each other's back except one girl who's not a girl's girl. We'll talk about that. Stay tuned, because you know who you are. You know who you are. Monica and Joey. Can I just say, Monica, glow up. Already gorgeous before. Love your tan. I know when you get glam. Like, I feel like anytime I get glam, it's like, oh, that's a different version of you. But gorgeous, but you're also gorgeous. Not with the tan, like not with glam. Just want every woman out there to know that. They don't always need glam to look fab. But of course, if you're going to go on the reunion, you got to look fab because you got to bring it. You got to show them what they missed out on. All right. Can I just say that Monica looked so stunning? I wrote that she looked like a Jackie Kennedy. Like, should we put you in the White House, Monica? I'm sure you know policies. Like, wow. That's the look. That is such a classy look, wow. Okay, now this was so sad because Monica's saying everything that all of us girls say because we felt this way when men make us feel this way. And I say that I'm in a very loving, just got married. But other men in the past have made me feel this way, where you're not, they're not interested in you romantically, and you just keep thinking that they are because they're kind of, just like breadcrumbing you essentially. But she's like, this was so hard to watch. This was so embarrassing for me to watch. And it was so clear he was not interested in me romantically. I shouldn't have to push that. Like, yes, I didn't say I love you, but he didn't say I love you to me. He didn't ever try to initiate things physically. So why would I say that when I can't even tell if he likes me at all? Joey blames her sister for his lack of commitment. He says, now I understand this, that family is very important to him. That's what they bonded over. And because of the sister, it had nothing to do with his relationship and his dynamic with her. It was her sister's fault. Blame the woman. That's what's going to get you. I love it. No, that's obviously, don't clip that because you know I'm being sarcastic. Which truth are we buying into? Joey said, well, I knew it the whole time I was going to wait till the end to make a decision. Joey, sir, you knew you weren't saying yes. Man up. Stop acting like Joey acts like this goofy little, go. He's like Goofy from the Goofy movie. He's like, oh, I didn't know. I'm from Minnesota. I'm sorry, Joey, but you know it. Like, your middle name is probably Goofy. Oh, and then Monica says the truth always comes out because Monica's a queen. And, she had so many good lines, too. Like, she's a Jackie Kennedy. She's amazing. Joey says, we just couldn't get out of the friend zone. And then this was actually crazy, guys. It might be worth it to watch just for this scene and, like, one other scene later. But this was wild. Joey reaches out to Madison and he's like, no, I was just checking in on her because I liked her pink hair. And then Madison goes, no. He also said he wished that we could talk more. And this is like during the engagement process, like they're engaged at this point, him and Monica. And Monica's like, if I would have known that he's sliding into DMs of cast members, I would have broke up with him then and there. So I didn't know that. So that's not fair to me. You took away that experience for me. You robbed me. And that's not the only one who robbed anyone, because I also think production robbed them and sabotaged their weddings. Go ahead and watch that video after this one. But in the meantime, Madison called him out and she said, that's a crazy lie. Why are you acting like I'm into you? Because Joey's like, oh my God, Monica, Madison is really into me. Well, it's not my fault. I'm just super hot. I'm sorry. Madison is so hot. Like, all the girls are so beautiful. Joey, she's just not that into you, okay? She's just not into you. These men get on the show and they're like, whoa. I am so hot. It's like, bro, cut the cord. Cut the cord. Is that the man I once adored? Wow. Absolutely just hate Joey. I might hate him more than I hate Ben because of how like innocent he plays, which I think is even more manipulative. And if we're going to say manipulation, those two men, Joey and Ben, are very manipulative and they're narcissistic. The number 4 moment, I'm going in chronological order. The number 4 most memorable moment was Taylor and Garrett getting a glow up. And was this the Taylor's version? And they're fun. They're so cute. They're little hydrogen atoms or whatever they are. And they're so cute. They're like perfect for each other. And I think the biggest thing is always that they committed to each other. I don't really like love some of their styles, but it is, you do you, boo, you know? Oh God, this couple, it's like, stop talking to me. Dave and Lauren. Lauren is the most level-headed, nicest human being. Lauren, I promise you, you're gonna find your person in like a day. A day after this, there's gonna be a line out the door of men who wanna date you because you are a diamond, you are a gem, and Dave sucks. And I know that was very kind of you. It was very kind. She said, I just want to make things clear. A lot of people are writing really awful things to Dave, and I don't think he's a narcissist. I don't think he's manipulative. And I honestly don't know if he is. It's hard to tell. It's hard to see if he was someone who just keeps getting so overwhelmed. And like he really, really loved her, but he was bogged down by his family, which honestly could have been because at the end. So basically, Dave said that his sister and his family and friends were getting in his head, and his sister did not want him to be shown in a bad light. And he said that, you know, hearing about this hookup guy that Lauren was involved in, it just threw him for a complete loop. Lauren shares, and I love this because Lauren said, you know, respectfully, I am light years ahead of you when it comes to emotional intelligence. And Dave goes, yep, absolutely. Yep. Like, when in doubt, men, the women are right. Stop gaslighting them. Just do what Dave did. She's right. She's right. We find out that Dave finds out in the last 2 weeks, not the whole year, but the last 2 weeks, he finds out that, whoa, guys. He finally found out the intentions of that weird hookup guy, and that Lauren was right the whole time. Lauren goes, thank you so much. I love that for you. Not for me. Love that for you. Something else that she loves for him is that I don't think she loves this, but they go, is Lauren the one that got away? And he goes, yeah. She goes, this is where it's love that for you, not for me. Nope, you actually didn't talk to me all year. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir, and good night. Thank you. These men, he goes, this is probably why people stay single. Yeah, it's just easier. What? Like, Dave just reminds me of how old is Dave? He looks like 45 years old, and like, he's like, oh, how do you go on a date? Like, do we go to dinner, or I feel like I'm just off the walls in this episode. Oh man, I need more. It's just water, hold on. Okay, then Molly comes on, and respectfully, Molly, you're very beautiful. You're really nice. You're clearly a girl's girl. Yay, Molly. I just, I feel like your storyline isn't that interesting, and, you know, girl's girl. Love you, Molly. Let's move on. All right, number 3, most memorable moment. I cannot remember the names of these people, but it's the one episode where the girl is calling, I remember Sarah Ann was the bad girl, but I can't, Laura, and that other guy. And Laura's being like, where's your location? You weren't in Upper Charlotte, you were in Lower Charlotte, and blah, blah, and it was the funniest thing in the world, which, by the way, the amount of people who are sharing locations, which I share a location with my husband, but I never check it. Like, I just always forget that's a thing. But people are like, where are you? It's so intense. Okay, here's where the real goss comes. And that is with our little quartet. And that is Meg, Mason, Madison, and Alex. So Meg and Mason share that they're best friends. And literally, Mason said the most disgusting line to me on this episode. And that was, I got the best situation out of this with Meg, which is so gross to me because they're not dating. He's just like, I got it. I got the best situation because I don't have a dater, but like best friends, probably best friends and more. Love that for us. Mason, I just hate you. But Meg, I did not love your energy. Madison is winning Woman of the Year. Basically, Madison says, you know, Mason, you know, I wish you all the best. I have nothing but good things to say about you. Meg goes, then why'd you call him manipulative in an interview recently? Huh? And by the way, Meg is looking absolutely stunning. She's wearing this blue dress, matches her gorgeous blue eyes. You're like, did you enhance your eyes? Like, your eyes look absolutely insane. And Meg is just standing by Mason's side. And she's like, I got you, Mason. I'm your bestie. I'm going to bring you bestie energy. And Madison is so well-spoken and calling them out left and right. Like, she was going so fast, I couldn't even write down her direct quotes. And she does say, yeah, he was manipulative. And he goes, oh, that's so nice of you to think that I'm smart enough to manipulate anyone. And by the way, what a rehearsed line. What a rehearsed line. And I'm sorry, you dumb? Like, oh God. Oh my God. You know, I keep one-upping each of the men in who I hate. First, I hated Ben. Then I hated Joey. But I really also hate Mason. Let's be clear, folks. Oh, and I also hate Devon. So I hate all of them, except Dan. Daniel, love those tattooed eyes, my friend. And then Madison goes, like, he's trying to say mean things to her or whatever and lie. And she said the best line that I want to keep saying, which is, I fear I'm not. Like, he's like, oh, you're lying, blah, blah. And she's like, I fear I'm not. I was like, what is that? My husband's like, it means like, I'm afraid not. But I'm like, I fear I'm not is actually so iconic. I can't handle it. And then she said the most brilliant line ever. And she said, I'm so tired of women having to fall on the sword of men. You are getting off scotch-free, and I'm taking all the flack, and you're taking no accountability. Like, she was so, and everyone was trying to pin everything on her, like Alex, Meg, Mason, and then Madison calls out Alex for saying, she goes, you were talking crap about them. She said more, but, you know, YouTube. So stop acting like you were on his side. And Alex had a moment where he paused because you could tell he was caught. And he goes, that's absolutely not true. Which, by the way, is, I guess the way you go when you're called out. You just go, no, sir, I fear not. Nope. And then you just keep a poker face. A scale of 1 to absolutely crazy, where am I at right now? Oh my God. Madison goes, oh, that's funny. That's so funny that you say that because I have the receipts. She pulls out paper from her dress, the screenshots that she printed out, and I wish she had better screenshots. My girl Madison, your screenshots, they weren't like that good. They weren't that juicy. I wanted them to be just slightly juicier. Can you go get more and print them out for us and then like take a fun video and show us? Because that was fun, but they weren't the best. But Meg is giving this what I wrote. Girl who will steal your husband and say that you left him energy. Meg, not a girl's girl. Meg is going to get eaten alive online. Daniel and Taylor were so sweet. They actually like focused barely any attention on them. But I was thinking, how fun would it be if you're the couple that actually gets married and knowing like, hey, we get to take fun videos. They get to like air on Netflix a year later. Like, that's fun. By the way, guys, did you know I have stuff on Netflix? Like how I have a water bottle that I always just put in every shot to make myself just look a little bit cooler. But Daniel and Taylor were so sweet. You learn that his mom got leukemia and she's doing well now, which is great, but that their families really came together. And how crazy is this? His dad was staying at her brother's house or apartment because it was closer to the hospital where her brother worked at. Like, it was just so beautiful. And I think that's such a God thing of just bringing the families together when they really need it. So this is the couple I'm going to be very grounded on because we love you. Daniel and Taylor, you really stuck by each other's side the whole time. You believed each other and you were committed. You wanted to get married. Okay, the most memorable moment in Love is Blind history was Jessica from season 6. And if you need a little memory refresh, she said, when you see me, you are going to choke. You are going to need an EpiPen to open up your airways because that's how much you are going to choke. She does it so much better. And she sends in a little video, which I loved. And she said, like, oh my God, I can't believe that actually made it on air. She thought this whole time, I remember her saying that she thought she was going to be cut from the show because she didn't end up with anyone. But she was so iconic, like one of my favorite people on Love is Blind. And she goes, but you know what, women, I will never take back and say sorry for, reminding you to stand up for what you're worth. And I loved that. Guess what then? They announced that the next season is going to be in Denver, Colorado, which I thought it was going to be where I live, which is Columbus, Ohio. They are filming right now. And my friends said somehow we're all connected to the contestants, which is absolutely wild. Like, I want to know who I know. I'm like, why haven't they told me? It's probably not like I really, really know them, but somehow I know them because I worked in television here and we're all connected somehow. Anyway, that'll be fun. I was just with some Colorado friends in Florida and they're super like granola-y and like make stuff out of cloth. Like, they're very cool. I'm very much generalizing people from Denver, Colorado, but the ones I know are very cool and very like creative and inventive, and they call themselves granola. So that is fun. And then guess what? There's a performance by this amazing performer. I don't know music, so I can't recall you his name. And then guess what? It ended early. What? I thought for sure this was going to be like 2-3 hours like usual. And you know what Nick and Vanessa did? Is they didn't ask anyone about babies. Taylor and Daniel bought their first home, which is so fun. Like, that's amazing. And they didn't bring in like 12,000 old contestants. We don't want to hear. We don't want to know. I will say, I totally forgot that AD and Ollie, which I think I knew they were dating, but I didn't realize it because I don't watch Perfect Match. But they announced Perfect Match and she came on to announce her podcast. And I was like, cool. Another podcast, even though I'm also launching a podcast. It's called The Pop Teeny Pod with one of my great friends, Marina Cakes from Los Angeles. So stay tuned because that episode is dropping this week. And I'll put it in the description below, but you absolutely have to subscribe to that channel and listen to our podcast because Marina is also from Los Angeles and worked in production for a million years, and she's the funniest person you'll meet, and it's just so much fun. But then you watch Ollie surprise proposed, and it was so emotional and gave all of us just something huge to root for because we were like, this is so sweet. A real life couple who loves each other, who like spent time to get to know each other probably for over a year or however long, and you just felt like it was so real. And all of us, and Vanessa Lachey was really gracious in bringing this up. She's like, I've watched your journey like all of us, and we remember when that tool left her at the altar, and it was the most heartbreaking thing. The most heartbreaking thing. And so it's really cool to see the full circle moment of AD coming back. And we're just so excited for you, AD and Ollie. I want to see more of you guys. Like, I need to follow you. I'm so excited to see your journey because you guys are so cute. Love the British and American. AD, are you going to move to the UK? Dream come true. You have to do it so we can all live through you. Guys, if you like this, what are you doing if you're not subscribed to the channel? Like, clearly I'm in the beginning phases. I've worked in the entertainment industry for so long, but when I left it, I was like, I need to like make other videos. People were like, you know the entertainment industry and pop culture more than anything. That's what you need to make. So, all right, guys, hopefully this wasn't too unhinged, but also I hope it was entertaining for you. And if you want to watch more fun, subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and watch my video on how the production sabotaged the people who didn't get married in their wedding days. Click here. Catch up on some of my fun other videos. You want to know about Meghan Markle's new show? Yeah. And what fans are saying, what they like about it? Here we go. All right. I love you. Have a good one. We'll see you on the next one. Hopefully a little less unhinged. Or not.
Show me life. Show me love. Make a change. Time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come.